Do I support the directives of His Excellency, the President? Absolutely, yes.
The crackdown on Boda Boda operators, which kicked off Monday, will continue to weed out the criminal elements.
What a week. What a week. The law is very, very clear on this, and I hope it doesn't need to hurt someone else for it to be done well. Hello and welcome back to another video on Nduthi Mama's channel. Today's video is a little different. A few criminals on motorcycles and others not on motorcycles committed a crime. And as a result, His Excellency the President issued directives to apprehend the criminals as well as bring sanity to commercial motorcycle sector, also known as Boda Boda sector. And this is what he said.
I have ordered a crackdown on all Boda Boda operators starting here in Nairobi and moving across the country. But friends, that is not a license for you and your motorbike to harass pedestrians by driving on pedestrian walkways and chasing them back off onto the road. It's not a license that allows for a Boda Boda to be used to do drive-by shootings or to break vehicles' windows and harass motorists along the road. And most definitely, it is not a license for you to strip and remove dignity from our women. No. No.
The interpretation on the ground by the law enforcers.
It is our expectation that just like any other motorists, Boda Boda operators will be expected to operate within the law and in accordance with the traffic law. Some of the requirements we expect them to follow is that, one, any Boda Boda rider will be expected to be wearing a helmet, a reflector, will be expected to have undergone a training and has a valid driving license. The motorcycle is insured and will not allow them to carry more than 1 pillion passenger. In addition, we will not expect them to come to certain parts of the city where Boda Bodas are not allowed to go beyond.
The directives were very clear that only non-compliant riders need to be arrested. Private riders who are not commercial, who use their motorcycles to go to work just like you use your car privately to go to work and to do other errands for yourself, to travel, to go to places, to carry your family, were also caught up in this. And this is exactly what happened on the ground.
Oi!
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame.
Just to make you understand what it is like to a private rider to have been put or caught up in this, is just like, let's say there's a crackdown for taxis. And then, because taxis look like private cars, all the private drivers and private cars are also caught up in the crackdown. And all the drivers and private vehicles are also forced to either park their cars or are being arrested together. That is exactly what happened to private motorcycle riders. Do I support the directives of His Excellency, the President? Absolutely, yes. We need sanity on our roads. It is a fact that there is a lot that needs to be done in the commercial riding sector.
The operation is going on, but as at this morning, we had impounded 913 motorcycles and arrested 229 suspects.
Among those arrested were riders that were compliant, and the law is very clear. The same traffic act that governs drivers is the same traffic act that governs riders. And from the directive as read earlier, it was very clear that compliance is the criteria of arresting and impounding motorcycles. However, that's not what happened on the ground. As a private rider, why would I be stopped from using my motorcycles if I'm fully compliant? Why would I be treated, or why should I be treated the same way as a commercial rider? The law is clear, and the law distinguishes all of us. Just like it distinguishes a private driver from a taxi driver, from a truck driver, from a matatu driver. The same way, that law is able to distinguish us from a private rider to a passenger pillion rider to a delivery rider. And it is very clear on what each one of us requires to be operating our motorcycles. All we are asking is for the law to be implemented and enforced fairly. Let me know in the comments section down below if you think the way the operation was done was fair to all. Yesterday, the government suspended the crackdown. However, that suspension came with one condition, that the central business district, which is called CBD or city center or town in Nairobi, is a no-go zone for motorcycle riders. What this means to a private rider is, if you're a private rider who has an office in town, CBD, if you're a private rider whose business is in town, if you're a private rider who needs to go to town for one reason or the other, and your motorcycle is your only and sole means of transport, then you need to look for another means of transport. Our request to the government as private riders is to be recognized, just like private drivers and private motor vehicles are recognized, and we be allowed to access our offices, our businesses, wherever they are. I hope that this prayer will be answered, and that tomorrow or the day after, all the private riders will be able to report to their offices and their businesses if they're in city center, using their motorcycles to get to city center. As I end this, I would like to say that it's unfortunate businesses will continue to suffer. Some of us will still continue to suffer, but we needed this long time ago. It's good that it's being done. We are only asking that it's done properly, fairly, and that we recognize each category of the riders so that everybody is able to enjoy doing their job, using their motorcycles for whatever they use them for in this country. The law is very clear on this, and I hope it doesn't need to hurt someone else for it to be done well. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more of this and other stories from the road when I get back on the road. I hope it's soon. Bye.